Hello everyone. Today we are going to discuss about worm infestation. This is me, Jansi, tutor working at M College of Nursing. The objectives of today's class is, at the end of the class, the learner or the listener will be able to enumerate the definition and its types, list the causes, signs and symptoms, and brief the preventive measures of worm infestations and its treatment. Definition. Children often complain of stomachache. One of the leading causes of stomachache in children is intestinal infection, which is mostly caused by intestinal parasites such as worms. Worms tend to live in the intestine and feed off your children's or child's nutrition. Worm infestations and related infections are common in children and are also easily be treated. Types of worms. So there are different types of intestinal worms that can cause worm infections. But the most common are tapeworms, roundworms, pinworms or threadworms, and hookworms. We'll see what are the causes for this. So coming in contact with an infected surface such as soil containing eggs or germs at a playground, or touching pets with infected worms. Consuming infected food or water, improper hygiene and inadequate hand washing techniques. Sign and symptoms. Some common symptoms of worm infections are irritability, weight loss, stomachache, bedwetting, blood in stools. Beside these, each worm infection has a distinct symptoms as listed below. So we'll see what are the worms and what it causes. First is the tapeworm infection. Tapeworm causes jaundice, nausea, vomiting, loss of appetite, eating too frequently, and sometimes even malnutrition. Roundworm infection. So roundworm infection causes diarrhea, passing worms with stools, dry cough and fever. Pinworm or tapeworm. So pinworm infections is nothing but tape like worms which causes itching around the anus, trouble sleeping due to itching, painful urination. So these are the signs and symptoms of pinworm infection. Hookworm. Hookworm infection includes wheezing, coughing, fatigue and anemia. Hookworm infection causes wheezing, coughing, fatigue and anemia. Diagnosis. Diagnosis includes complete data collection, that is history collection. Then moving on to the physical examination, followed by fecal test or stool test. Routine samples can be sent to find out the parasites, and colonoscopy can be done. This can be helpful when stool samples don't show the evidence of parasites due to the diarrhea. In that case, we can go ahead with colonoscopy. Tape test. Tape test is nothing but touching a tape to the anus several times and then examining the tape under a microscope to identify the pinworm eggs. So this just involves touching the tape to the anus several times and then examining the tape under a microscope to identify the pinworm eggs or tapeworm eggs. Blood test. Blood test is to detect some type of parasites in the blood. Antibody test. This test checks for antibodies that the body produces when it is infected with a parasite. Imaging tests. Imaging tests include X-rays, computed tomography or magnetic resonance imaging, that is MRI, to detect the extent of organ injury caused by the worm infestation. Hope it's clear. Moving on to the management. So management includes deworming. So the deworming medications, antiparasitic medicines, anti-worm or deworming medicines such as mebendazole, pyrantel, piperacin or niclosamine can be given in a frequency of 6 months once for children to prevent this worm infestation. These are the management. So we'll see what are the preventive measures. So wash hands with soap before cooking, eating, after playing, changing the diaper, using the toilet, and touching an animal or animal waste. So hand washing is very important. Follow all the steps of hand washing to keep yourself away from worm infestation. Next, avoid eating raw or uncooked meat, fish or poultry. So no raw foods, it has to be cooked. Meat especially. Washing fruits and vegetables in purified water. You can add salt or you can add turmeric powder to clean the vegetables and fruits. Drink safe, clean water. Next, washing children's toys and clothes with disinfectant before giving them for the next play. Frequently washing and drying bedding under the sunlight. So wash or dry the bedding under the sunlight. It is important to prevent after the person or the child is having a frequent diarrhea. Avoid walking barefoot. Avoid walking barefoot. Cleaning up animal waste and disinfecting the area. Cleaning up the animal waste and disinfecting the area is important. Maintaining pet hygiene and deworming pets regularly. So pet hygiene, those who are having pets at home has to keep in mind maintaining the pet hygiene and deworming it as well regularly to be done. So this is how we can prevent the worm infestation. Hope it is clear. So I would like to conclude it. We had seen the definition, its causes and different types of worm infestations, worms which grows, and how to deworm regularly 6 months once interval, and that is about the worm infestation. So hope you all understood. Thank you.